Hey guys, what's going on today? Invested Minds right here. The reason why I call this Invested Minds is purely because before you invest, the first thing that has to be invested is your mind. Now, what I've got for you today is a new ICO. We've actually got something very special about this particular one. It's Monyx coin. Well, the reason why this one is different from the rest is because you can pull out your capital at any time. Now, if you can recall, other lending platforms like Bitfinite or Exacoin do is they take your capital, they lock it up for a certain period, and then they release it right at the end. However, with this one, what you can do is you can withdraw your capital at any time you like, meaning that the freedom is right within your hands as to when you want to pull your money out. The only catch with that is that they do have a 15% fee or 15% penalty. Right, okay, so let's have a look at this website. Now, the first thing that I noticed straight away from the website is that it is running very well and very smoothly. From the other websites or previous ICOs, one thing you do surely notice is that the English isn't exactly well written. However, going through the white paper and the website itself, I can see that most things usually just check out. It is very well written and it does run real smoothly, and things are explained quite nicely, so you can see that the English is good and they are of English speaking background, which is a good thing to know, because if you wanted to get in touch with customer service, then at least you know that there's somebody there that you could speak to. Now, they do trade with your money that you lend. However, with this one, apparently they have been trading from July 2013. Now, the good thing about this ICO is that we're in the pre-ICO stage. Now, the coins are starting at 45 cents, which is absolutely amazing. 45 cents per token, with a target price of each token rising to $15 to $20. Now, whenever you see figures like that, you do have to take it with a pinch of salt, purely because it may or may not reach that sort of banding. However, with the hype behind this one, as I'll explain later on down the track, you'll know exactly, or you'll be able to gauge exactly what to do with the tokens if you decide to participate. Right, so from what it looks like, they've capped the stages at 5,000 tokens per 24 hours. Now that's good, stops whales from participating and people from pumping and dumping. 5,000 is quite high, however it's nothing too damaging, and it does give you the opportunity to make a decent amount of money if you wanted to. Right, so what is Monyx coin? Just having a brief little look through the website, another lending platform, and they do have 8 million tokens to release in their ICO crowd sale stage. So with a maximum supply of 24 million, that's actually a really good number. The reason why I say that is because if it were something around the regions of 1 billion tokens, you can imagine the tokens will not reach $1 each whatsoever. 24 million is a good number. It keeps supply low. They obviously just can't create more tokens out of thin air. It looks as though the tokens will go all the way up to $1 during the ICO stage. So one of the things that I've noticed about this particular ICO, and the reason why I'll be participating myself, is because the ICO is open for exchange as soon as the ICO finishes. So as soon as you buy your tokens and the crowdfunding stages finish, you can take part in the exchange straight away. It looks as though they've already got the substructure built up, ready to take off as soon as the ICO finishes. Now, the great thing about exchanges, and the reason why that's important to ourselves, is because as soon as tokens hit the exchange, that's when they become available to the public or anybody else that decides to sign up to buy the tokens. This definitely affects the token prices. You can see changes of tokens from ICO stage from 45 cents to $1 during ICO, and you could see them rise all the way up to anywhere around $10 to $15 quite easily, which means if you were purely looking at this as an investment point of view, then you'd quite easily see 10x, 15x on the amount that you actually decide to put into the ICO. Right, so it looks like the starting period is from the 25th of December, Christmas Day, which is good. Nice little investment for you on that day. You're going to have to find the time to see if you can participate, but that's not a problem. If you want to make money, you'll definitely make things work for you. Now, from the time of this video, it is 10 hours from now. The reason why I make these videos close to the ICO opening stages, because you don't want to be in that position where you're waiting for a week or two before the ICO starts. You want to be able to invest straight away. Well, I do anyway. So I'm making this video with as much facts as possible so that you can make an informed decision, and myself, so I could share all the information that I've come across in order for myself to make an informed decision onto whether I will be investing or not. Now, from everything that I've seen, I myself will be putting money into this ICO, and I will be participating in the exchanges just to see if there's any chances that we can make 10x on our investments. Initial prices from 45 cents to $1 during the ICO stages, and you can see that they've put a limit on each stage at 5,000 MYX tokens per 24 hours per account. Now let's have a look at this. It looks like there's 6 stages for the ICO. They have the pre-sale starting at 45 cents, and you get a 15% bonus, which is great. 1.8 million tokens. Now that's a nice healthy number, and it does mean, well, from what I can see, the website is running quite smoothly, so I'm guessing that it's not going to be one of your typical ICOs that freezes up during the period of you buying the tokens, which is quite frustrating because we've had that happen quite a few times, and you're stuck there for a while battling out, trying to go through the traffic to be able to get hold of your tokens, and on a lot of occasions, like Exacoin, you just end up missing out straight away and you feel quite frustrated and having wasted your time. Right, so the next stage after that is 60 cents per token with a 10% bonus, and we'll have 1.4 million coins on sale at the time. Then 70 cents, and the rounds lead up all the way up to $1. So even if you participate on the early stages, you can expect to make some gains on your tokens because the rounds finish at $1 per token. That's just the value at which they finish, which is quite interesting and exciting, I would say, purely because you can see with this chart right here that you're expecting to make around 200% profit by the end of the ICO in itself. So let's see how they're going to distribute these tokens or use the funds from the ICO. Investors and underlying assets 60%, 25% will go towards the marketing, 15% towards development. Now we'll get more, we'll get to the development section a little bit down the line. How to participate in the ICO. So step 1, register as per normal. With these ICOs, there's nothing actually special or different that you have to do. With this one, deposit your funds. This would be best to do as early as possible or as soon as possible, just because you don't want your tokens or your Bitcoin to be stuck in transit, purely because the transaction times are taking a while. Bitcoin does have a very bad nature of being stuck in transactions when the system is clogged up, so I would deposit as soon as possible. And step 3, buy Monyx coin. Right, so I'll be logging into the dashboard shortly, just showing you exactly what it looks like, what the interface is, how smoothly it is, and show you exactly where to go to buy the Monyx coin. So nothing new right here, same old stuff, the usual stuff that you see from lending platforms. What can I do with Monyx coin? Well, same as other lending platforms, you can lend, you can stake, you can do mining, trading. However, my strategy with this coin is to wait up until it hits the exchanges and then hopefully cash out. Or if they have decent lending rates, then I may just lend to the platform itself and make a regular income from it. Now, what we rarely do. So it looks as though they make their money from arbitrage, market making and prediction trading. Now, none of these are new. We got Exacoin, who take part in arbitrage themselves. Prediction trading, it seems as though they've been in the game for quite some time, because from reading one of their white papers, it seems as though they've been trading since August 2013. Now, this is important because people feel as though trading platforms don't have AI bots trading for them. It's important to remember that most of Forex is traded using trading bots itself, and that's how people are making money these days. Right, okay, so let's move on. Connected to the largest trading platforms already, so it looks as though their algorithm is integrated within, or integrated to read Bittrex and all the other major exchanges. Binance, GDAX, Poloniex. Now, most of you who are into cryptocurrency would be familiar with these as one of the biggest exchanges that we use today. Now, a trading bot having access to these exchanges will definitely be able to make quite a few major moves and hopefully make us all some money. Monyx lending. Now, let's have a look at their rates. So this was one of the most attractive things about this particular ICO. It looks as though their capital return rate is actually way shorter than most of the other lending platforms. Now, this is important right here. So in 1 month, apparently you can get 50% of your capital back, which is absolutely amazing. You can imagine the likes of Bitfinite can go their lowest amount that you can lend can go to around 200 plus days, which is far too long. However, these guys have it for less than half the time. Now, they have some very good rates on offer here, and if they can make good on this, that would be absolutely amazing. If you can imagine that you'd probably be able to get 5,000 tokens, for example. If them 5,000 tokens turned out to be $10 each, you'll be able to make $50,000 there and then. Now, with your $50,000, you can quite potentially lend it out to the platform and be able to make 60% back on a monthly basis. Now, here's the thing that separates this one from all the other ICOs. Early withdrawal option. You can withdraw your initial capital at any time by paying an early flat withdrawal penalty of 15%. Now, this is great. It's great because it gives you control, and I believe that should anything happen in the future, or even if you need the money for something which you may not have foreseen, you can pull out your capital at any time you like. You pay that penalty fee. However, you probably will end up making that penalty fee back within a couple of days in terms of when you decide to lend. So this is actually great. I think that this is what separates the ICO out from the other lending platforms. It does give you more of a control over your capital, and you don't have to wait a few months in order to get your money back. So that's amazing. Now, here's the roadmap. This is usually one of the important things that I look for in terms of a decent ICO or an investment opportunity. The roadmap tells me exactly what to expect, when I think I can take my initial investment back and then some, as well as expected returns. It's always good to know exactly when you can expect to make some money on the initial investment that you had made. So if I'm going to get a hold of 1,000 Monyx tokens and the price is $15, it looks as though I'll have $15,000 stuck there on the ICO or the platform. Now, if I wait till January, that's when it's going to list on the external exchanges. That's quite important because the external exchanges have a good track record of listing a coin and then the price rising. So there's a correlation between the two, and internal exchange is when you can expect to start trading the Monyx tokens for Bitcoin, or vice versa. Perhaps you missed out on the ICO in itself and you want to get in there as soon as the internal exchange opens. Well, you can do that. You can do that as soon as January the 15th arrives, and you can take part before the price goes all the way up to $15 to $20. Now, February, March 2018, aggressive marketing campaigns, listing on HIP, BTC, CoinMarketCap. Expected price is $50 to $80, as well as the second quarter of 2018, the expected price is $100 to $150. Now, with these expected prices from February onwards, $50 to $150, I would definitely take that with a pinch of salt. As an investor, I myself will most likely not wait up until that period. If the lending rates are great, then I may be enticed to put my money into the lending platform, but what I probably will not do is hold on to the coins to see if they hit $50. I would be quite comfortable to cash out on 10x, 15x, and then move on to the next ICO. My strategy here is to invest and cash out. However, anybody else, if they do see fit, then they can lend it out to the platform and expect to see gains of a few percentages a day, up to 60% a month, which isn't actually too bad compared to the other lending platforms. Now, future price targets, it looks like it's the same thing, regurgitated from the roadmap. 100x since ICO price, that's absolutely crazy. But it does look like they have a well written plan there. The only concern is that it does go to the second quarter of 2018, which is already pretty close considering it's the end of the year. Aggressive buyback plans. Now, it looks like to keep the supply and demand in check, what they'll be doing is that they'll be buying back a certain percentage of tokens each year. Now, the less tokens that are available on the market, the higher the price per token will be, so this is a good strategy to control the price from the developer or the platform itself, and stop the market from getting saturated with all these tokens. So that's actually a great idea. Now, you'll probably find the frequently asked questions for the ICO towards the end of the page, and the exchanges that will be listed: Coin Exchange, Cryptopia. Monyx will be listed on the external exchanges in January 2018. There's not actually that much of a wait for these tokens to hit the major external exchanges, which is absolutely great news. Okay, so what we need to check now is do a little background research on the website itself. I want to see exactly if the whois checks out. So from what I can see, it looks as though the domain is going to expire in 2021. Now, that's good. A domain expiring in 2018 will definitely be a concern. It shows as though they bought something for a year and are not actually investing in a domain that will be lasting for a few years. It is a good sign. It does show that they're going to be here for the long term. However, like I said, take this all with a pinch of salt. If the information checks out, which it is so far, then this platform could actually be a really good opportunity for investment. It looks as though they've kept their personal details closely guarded, which isn't too much of a problem. When BitConnect started, nobody knew who the development team were for BitConnect, so it looks as though these people themselves have decided to take the same route. So let's have a look at the Alexa website ranking. It's ranked 934,074, which isn't too bad for international websites. That's actually decent. Now, if you want to have this put into perspective for you, I've drafted up the Alexa rankings for BitConnect itself. Now, BitConnect is at 3.5 million, so you can see exactly, or you can get an idea of how much traffic this website would actually get in comparison to BitConnect itself. You can see that the hype around it is actually real, and it looks as though many people are going to be ready for this investment as soon as it starts. So let's have a look at the dashboard. So from what I can see, the dashboard in itself is actually very well put together. It doesn't look like there's common grammar mistakes. It looks as though all the buttons are there, all the bits of information that you need, and it looks as though it's running smoothly. So the actual ICO dashboard itself is where you can make all your transactions, or where you can buy the MYX tokens. In order for yourself to deposit some bitcoins, go into the wallet. Let's have a look at this, see where it takes me. As you can see, I've already put some of my own money in here. This is how much I'm going to be investing into the platform. And unlike other YouTubers or other videos that you might see, I myself will be investing, and what the purpose of this video is to show exactly where my investments are going and how much potential money I could be making. If you decide to follow me and join me on this plan for investment, then that's entirely up to you. It's your decision, it's your money, you can do exactly what you want with it. I'm just presenting the information to you. So to make the deposit using your bitcoins, you just type in the amount that you want to deposit. Let's just say 1 bitcoin. Click deposit. And what that'll do is it'll bring up the address for you to send your bitcoins to. Now, do this as soon as possible, because you don't want the risk of your bitcoin being stuck in transaction or in transit if the system is quite clogged up. Now eventually what will happen is you'll see your bitcoin show up in your wallet. Now as you can see, I ended up making 2 transactions. Firstly, because I had a little read of the white paper, which made me feel as though that I could be a bit more confident in the system, so I decided to make a second transaction and see this investment go all the way through to 10x, 15x hopefully. Right, so the ICO dashboard back again. Once your Bitcoin tokens are in your wallet, ready for your transactions to be made, you wait up until the clock is ready. As soon as this hits 0, what your plan is, click on all, get all your coins in there, or as many as possible, with a limit of 5,000. This is not too bad, I'm almost at 5,000 myself. Right, okay, so click that, and you'll see this button change. As soon as you do that, you'll see the Monyx coins in your wallet, and that's it for you. You'll be able to get them tokens. So I'm hoping that I've given you the information that you need here to make an informed decision as to whether you yourself want to invest or not. However, please take into account that I'm not your financial advisor. The purpose of this video is for me to share my investment opportunities with yourself. I believe if anyone were to join me on these investment opportunities, then there's a chance that they could make themselves some money. If you do want to invest in this, then what I'll do is I'll leave a link for you in the description. By all means, click on it and get in there, make your deposit as soon as possible so that you yourself can make some money. Right, so that covers most of it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you found any of the information useful, then please hit that subscribe button, click the like. If you've got any comments or questions, then just leave them behind, and what I'll do is I'll answer each of them at the end of the day. I'll get back to you as soon as possible just to see if I can nudge you in the right direction. If you didn't like the video, then that's completely fine. The purpose of these YouTube videos is to share my experience in my investments, and hopefully give other people a opportunity for themselves to make some decent amount of money. Thank you guys.